All right, so I have this theory that I think harmony is evil, and what I mean to explain and say is that harmony is a form of castration. There was this French psychoanalyst named Jacques Lacan, and part of his theory is that a child goes through a period of castration, and what this period entails is a moment where the child actually realizes that it is not enough for the mother, that to the mother it is not the ultimate object of desire. And so in that moment is what Jacques Lacan called castration. It's a moment of loss where the child actually loses himself as the mother's object of desire. And so I believe harmony is a form of castration. And part of what I am trying to make the point of is not only is harmony is evil, but let me kind of explain what I mean by harmony. For me, harmony is synonymous with idealism, or ideal, the whole, the perfect, things that are put together, the integrated picture. Most of us might use the word perfect. We look for the perfect girl, the perfect job, the perfect house, the perfect home. In a very vulgar sense, this is exactly what the American dream is all about. Once I get the wife, once I get the husband, once I get the job, once I get all of this, my life will be fulfilled. I will be whole. Everything will be perfect. But back to Jacques Lacan, he again claims that this idea of harmony and my notion with his notion comes out of castration. And so what he calls this loss is called the phallus. And so this phallus is nothing more than an image. It's a stand-in for the loss of the mother, for the child. And so in this moment, our world is basically built around the notion of a phallus. And this isn't only to say that architecture is monolithic and we have penis-shaped items all over the world, which is one point. But one major point out of this whole idea of harmony being castration is that we will continuously be trying to fulfill ourselves. We will continuously try to fill the holes. Now, another theory that Jacques Lacan said is that we're all fragmented. And so how we are naturally, we're all fragmented. And for the most part, things like commercials and newspaper ads and banner ads, all of these play on this premise that we all need something. We are all looking for something to fulfill us. So, things like makeup and even something as simple as life insurance, all of these different objects. The promise is that once you have this object, that you will be fulfilled, that you'll be secure, that you'll be happy, that you'll be whole. And that is nothing more than an illusion. And this is why harmony is evil. I mean, is this not also the same idea behind what war is all about? I mean, once we think, listen, as soon as that object over there, whatever it is, oil, maybe domination, whatever it is, hey, that person has land, I want that land, I'm gonna go and take it, I'll kill whoever I need to, and I'll do whatever it takes, right? So that whole notion is built on Jacques Lacan's idea of castration, in that we are trying to fulfill a loss. Now, my theory is that we are fragmented is a good thing. So we, in our ontology, in our very essence of who we are as people, we are fragmented. We aren't whole, but us not being whole is a good thing. And so this whole notion of harmony is literally based on what I call the image. And there's a television show that has been getting a lot of traction over the last few years called Glee. Now, one of the characters on Glee, one of the main protagonists, male protagonists, is a guy named Finn. Now, there's an episode where Finn is singing a song by an 80s rock star named Rick Springfield. And the song is called Jesse's Girl. Now, in the actual narrative, in the storyline, what's happening is the girl that he wants, who is another female protagonist, Rachel Berry, is actually in a relationship with another guy named Jesse. So that's hence why the song is called Jesse's Girl. And so the whole story behind the lyrics itself is saying, listen, I want what that guy has. I want the girl that this guy has. And I want the object that this guy has because it will fulfill me. And so it's literally a song about domination in a relational sense. And so what else happens is also quite vulgar, is because there's a moment while he's singing it where Rachel Berry is set behind a not a screen, but more of kind of like a sheet, and all you see is the image. All you see is a silhouette of Rachel, but not Rachel's full self. You don't see Rachel's bulbous nose. You don't see her short stature. You don't get her annoying personality. You know, maybe her chunky, like calves. You don't get all that. All you get is the silhouette and the image. So the image is actually the illusion. So the image, though, is the promise of what could be fulfilling. And so Finn is left with this image of promise, and as we know in later episodes, even though he's in a relationship with Rachel, he's not fulfilled. And so the whole notion is that capitalism, a lot of politics, whether it be UK or USA, is built on this notion of castration that says, listen, once you have this object, once we get rid of our debt, once we, you know, once everything's perfect, everybody will be happy. And this isn't the case. I mean, I think happiness isn't simply an illusion like some people have stated. I mean, Noam Chomsky goes into that a little bit more, but it's even worse. I mean, happiness, the whole idea of happiness is just really, really bad pornography. And it isn't that something like happiness exists, it's that these things happen in moments. Harmony happens in moments. I mean, if we're truly fragmented, then nothing whole can exist. And so what that means is a harmony. We can only experience harmony in moments, not harmony as a whole. We can only experience joy and peace in moments. And so we have to be okay with this. And what that means is we have to let go of the illusion. We have to get rid of this phallus, this object that the other has that we think will fulfill us. And I mean, that's another thing that we have to realize, is that the object that we desire is the object that desires us. And so what we think we want is actually what the object wants from us. And so this whole promise of getting the object is really just nothing more than some weak illusion that we hope to fulfill us. And so there's this point where Jesus says, I've come to bring a sword, not peace. And so what I think is very, very interesting about that is, one, I mean, a lot of people kind of have this meek and mild Jesus in the Christian conversation, and what I think is very interesting is the metaphorical power behind his usage of these two objects. So here you have the sword, which was really used by Romans, you know, as a tool for oppression and domination and power, and Jesus upsets that by saying, listen, I'm here to upset the social order. I am here to upset people's identity. I'm not here to bring peace. I'm not here to bring wholeness. I'm not here to bring idealism. I'm not here to bring harmony. If anything, I want people to start questioning their identity. I want people to start questioning who they are and why they are who they are. And so harmony doesn't allow us to do that, because if you get more than one person in a room, you get more than one definition of harmony, and that's the problem. I mean, is this not also the kind of perverseness behind the United Nations? You get all these different people in one room, and they start talking about different versions of perfection and harmony and how this country can work together with this country. And that's the danger, is because once you get more than one version of harmony, you're going to get somebody who has to give their version of harmony up. And so harmony ends up dying in the process. And so what we end up with is pseudo-harmony. We end up with the whole, which is actually masqueraded by the fragmented. And so ultimately what happens is the fragmented is sublimated by the whole. It's actually given up. And so it's harmony under the guise of harmony. And so back to what Jesus was saying is that he has come to upset the whole social order of reality. I mean, there is no Jew, there is no Greek, there is no male, there is no female. Most of what we think about ourselves is all performative. We literally perform what it means to be male, what it means to be female. Our identity is set in where we are. Some people use the word narrative or story, you know, to actually make sense of where they are and who they are. And so what I'm challenging is that once we start talking about harmony, we give ourselves an identity. We will fight for that identity for the sake not of harmony itself, but for the sake of trying to feel whole, because we think harmony will fulfill us. And so I think, if anything, if there's anything that's challenging about the Christian story, it's that we're not meant to bring peace. We're meant to disrupt the social order. We're meant to challenge people's identities. We're meant to have people question who they are and why they are who they are. And so I think what I kind of want to leave us with is this thought of disruption and identity anarchy, is that we're not supposed to be comfortable with who we are. If anything, our identity is supposed to be deferred, continuously deferred. We are meant to constantly be on a journey. You know, we will occasionally find ourselves, and that's the whole point behind fragmentation, is that we'll have moments of clearness, but other than that, we look through a mirror darkly. And so this is the challenge, is to realize that harmony is nothing more than cheap pornography. Is that it really is nothing more than something that is an illusion of the real thing, that promises to make us feel good, but really in the end it's all about death. And so when people fight for their version of harmony, they're fighting for the nothing more than an illusion. And so what we have to give up is our illusions of harmony, and to be okay with these moments of harmony. To me, that's what perfection is all about, really.